is Cass and Laurie, and also three other very special guests we'd like to welcome in the studio. Terry, and also Katerina, and also Anna from the Flaming Sambucas. Welcome, guys.
A very good morning. Thank you.
And good to have you guys back. Terry, 35 years, as we mentioned before. Now, this has become like part of your family, don't they?
Absolutely, they are. You have to be best of friends, you know, best of friends, and then you can put that on stage and you can portray that to the people. And when people see, you know, the obvious connection we have on stage, I think then it translates.
Now, briefly, for people that didn't hear our show back in April, tell us, how did the Flaming Sambucas first start off, and how did you have such longevity to keep a great band as you guys are together for such a long period?
It's very kind of you to say, Claudia. I think, well, I never thought it would last 35 years for sure. But I started playing, you know, piano and keyboards as a teenager, as you did.
That's right, yeah.
And through my 20s and 30s, I was playing in piano bars. And that's when I met Evan Jones and two girls. And we decided to join up, become a four-piece band. 1988, that was. And then Evan left in 91. Michael Potter came in. 1991, we changed the name to Flaming Sambucas. And, 1991, 35 years later.
Here you go. Now, guys, we can't move on to your new show without mentioning the ABBA tribute show. Now, you guys had it at the Arcabo Hotel a few weeks ago. Yeah. We ran a competition. We all went along and we took the winners down. I've got to congratulate you guys on the energy that was on at the Arcabo on that night. Yeah, like, it was just sensational.
Thank you.
I was talking to Terry and the girls a bit earlier on, is that from the first song, everybody was packed on the dance floor and you created energy. Then you had a break, and then you came to the second set, and it just went off like a rocket ship again. Yeah, like and I was saying to Terry and Norrie that we were trying to leave early because we had a show to do the next morning, but we couldn't leave because he just kept playing song after song after song after song. How did you guys feel on stage on that night? Did you feel the energy?
Oh, it's fabulous. And I love the fact that we can translate that energy because it's all about the connection with the people. You know, we don't get up there and say, look at us, here we are. We get up there to want to connect with them. And when you see that feedback come back, well, then you just keep elevating.
You do. Does it lift you guys up that little bit too? Or do you find that your energy's already there because you're so excited just walking on stage?
No, definitely having a great audience, it gives you a huge lift and a huge energy boost, and it keeps you going. Like you said, it's a long show, but and it is tiring, but just having that feedback makes such a difference.
You've got the Elton John and tribute show that's going to be at the Capri Theatre on the 14th of August. And firstly, what a great theatre it is. How exciting is that? Terry, tell us, how did you go about bringing, you told us before how you went with ABBA, but how did you go about this whole concept of Elton John?
Well, Elton John was really my background because Elton was the main mentor and inspiration for me to learn the piano when I was a kid. So going through the piano bars of the 80s was playing a lot of Elton John music. So it was probably 2010, somewhere about there. One of the agents said, we love the ABBA. If you can come up with another show, we'll get you some more work. Have you got another show? Instantly I thought, oh, well, we can probably put together the Elton John show. I think that's great. Let's do that. I didn't realise I'd put myself in for a few thousand hours work.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Because then you've got to go through the whole musical construction of it, the whole video construction, because again, we put the whole video up as a backdrop. And that's a lot of work.
It is. And now with ABBA, I can understand there's two female singers. So how do you go about incorporating two females to join you on stage, like playing Elton John songs?
I love it.
You love it, yes?
Personally, sure, I love singing the songs, but I love it when it comes a time for Anna to sing Goodbye Yellow Brick Road or Katrina to sing Sorry or Sacrifice, because it adds that extra dynamic. And people are surprised by that. They go, oh, look, the girls are singing these songs. Roughly a third each, I guess, a third each of the show.
It's nice. And Katrina and Anna, how do you go, because once again, we're talking about you can relate to ABBA and you do a lot of choreo in the ABBA show. How did you sort of come about sort of getting into the Elton John songs? Is it songs that you sort of grew up with or your parents grew up with? Or did you have a love for Elton before you started doing the show? Katerina?
Yeah, I've always liked certain Elton John songs. I suppose getting into the show has been much more in-depth than learning songs that I didn't even know before. He's such a great storyteller and great songwriter, and so much emotion in the songs that it's felt very different from the ABBA. The ABBA's more fun party, and Elton is a bit more emotional, and you can kind of really draw on that emotional aspect, which I've kind of enjoyed. It's a bit more serious, isn't it?
And with 6 decades of songs, there's such a large history. Is there any special memory of any songs that relate to you personally? Yeah.
Maybe that one from Lion King cartoon.
Yes.
Can you feel the love?
Yeah, can you feel the
that
love?
was quite a popular wedding song too, wasn't it, Terry? Like at the time, yeah. So
Back then I had no idea who Elton John was.
no.
But now I do, and I'm very happy because he's a great musician, and I'm glad that I can be a part of this show because it's very, very well done. And I love watching Terry changing his colourful outfits.
Now, as we mentioned, 6 decades of music. Terry, you were more involved in putting the show together. How do you go about, you obviously can't play every song from Elton. How do you go about picking the song? And what goes in putting a production like this together? Where do you start? And is it all left on you, or do you have sort of helpers? How do you decide the songs, the production, the videos, the outfits, the whole lot?
I certainly think about the rest of the band, how it's all going to work. You know, it's not just about what I want to do. I love the early 70s. That was Elton's real creative period.
So that's the decade you focus most
So
on?
mainly from 70 to 76, 77, those years in there where you've got 7 #1 albums in a row, Don't Shoot Me, Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, Caribou, Captain Fantastic, all of those albums that hits and hits and hits kept coming. It's incredibly creative period. But then I also got to look at, okay, what do I sing and what does Katrina sing and what does Anna sing and how is that going to work dynamically to put a show together? So generally you like to keep pumping and then put a slow one in there as the show stopper, then keep pumping again. But Elton's a bit more ballad orientated. So with so many ballads, you got to pace it correctly. You're sort of going from medium pace to slower pace. That's the dynamic that you're working with.
Because you actually, we're talking about tribute shows, and as you just highlighted there, a lot of Elton's Johns, and you mentioned about Bernie Taupin, who did a lot of the lyrics early on, and they had such a strong partnership. And I think one of your posts you mentioned about that connection that they had. Do you sort of feature on that part?
It's a big part of it. Elton has said without Bernie he would be nothing, and I don't believe that entirely. But Bernie's lyrics were what set Elton apart, because Bernie was a storyteller. He had a lot to say in those early 70s years.
He did.
That he wanted to share with the world. He was a young man, wrote your song when he was 17.
Yeah.
And those lyrics, they play the part. And with Katrina and Anna, they've got emotive voices. And when they put those lyrics across, you see people in tears. And that's what I say is, for our show, we just try and go over and above of, here's Elton's music, here's Elton's story. We want the audience to feel something, and they do.
Isn't it funny? We had Pestle in a very short interview, but I just can't stop talking to you guys. What's Elton John's story about? How do you go portraying that to the audience? You're not obviously trying to be Elton John with the good singers. What what do people expect if they come see your show?
Well, people love the colour, of course, so they want to see costume. So we've got the costumes covered. We've got the grand piano on the stage. We make it look that way. We make the production big. We've got the full video backdrop, so it's very watchable. It's theatrical. But as far as the story, we go back to Elton's childhood, and I think we are all a product of our environment. And Reg becoming Elton was no different. You know, he became a product of his environment. He was a young man. He wanted to put his music to the world. So we tell that story of how he got there, 1967, how he met Bernie Taupin by just simply answering an advertisement. Bernie came down from 3 hours north of London. They lived together in Elton's mum's family flat.
Wow.
They lived together there, and they commuted to London, and they wrote songs. And many of their early songs were written in a flat as a young man with his mate living in his mum's house.
Wow.
We put these people up on such a pedestal. They don't need to be on a pedestal. These are normal people. Sure, I think fame probably ended up getting to Elton, but that's the later part of the story. But we love to tell the story of a young man becoming popular in the world and the connection that has with the people. And that's what we see when we play to an audience. The memories keep coming back. You play a song, you play Rocket Man, I remember where I was. You hear Yellow Brick Road, I remember where I was.
Yep.
And you see the penny drop in everyone's face.
You do, yeah?
Yeah.
So the show's at the gorgeous Capri Theatre. How do people get tickets, yeah?
Try booking, all sorts of entertainment, Stephen Lee, so they can get all that online, or they can just simply go to our website. The link is on there as well. I'll keep reiterating, it's a matter of making people feel something, and they'll get there and it'll spark their memories. It's just a transportation of their time. Put them back 50 years, and you go, wow, I remember what this was like.
And this to finish off, Anna and Katerina, just as a final statement here, like, is that what you feel? People, we're bringing people back to the memories. And that's why people love these type of shows, because it brings them back in a time. Do you both agree with that? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
And we've heard your favourite song with The Lion King. Katerina, what's your favourite song from the show?
Probably Rocket Man.
Rocket Man.
Yeah.
So, well, we're calling Terry the Rocket Man, are we? So he's a Rocket Man. And talking about songs, we're going to get you guys to perform a song, a bit of a medley, aren't you?